This is James Lupton for Slothbox Delight, who's sponsored by the Excelsior Sporting Club, and I'm joined today at the Rotunda Gym with Caoimhin Agyarko. Caoimhin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Obviously just finished training now, so a bit tired.
That's it. Another training session here. Camp must be nearly finished now. Big fight coming up, May 20th. Grant Dennis, how's camping?
Yeah, camps went very well. Last hard week, last couple of spars coming up, and then as camp finished. But yeah, camp's been perfect. Really enjoyed this camp, to be fair. First couple of weeks were really hard. Obviously, I've been out of the ring for a long time, so trying to get my fitness and kind of sharpness back. But yeah, it's went very well, and I'm looking forward to fighting.
Obviously, been a while out of the ring. You had surgery, you had your injuries, etc. What's it like to deal with those injuries and your surgery and coming back to a full camp? And has it been as easy as it has been previously?
Obviously, trying to find your timing and sharpness is going to be hard all the time, but thankfully I kept myself in the gym regardless while I was injured. Do you know what I mean? I'm somebody who lives and breathes boxing. It's my job, so I was back home. Even I got surgery, and the next day I was in the gym doing weights, doing legs. So it was hard. It was mentally tough being out for so long. I haven't fought in 10 months, and obviously having to get surgery and stuff like that. So it's been kind of hard for me, but I'm glad I'm back now, and back. I have a fight date scheduled, obviously 2 weeks. I'm Saturday gone, and I'm just looking forward to getting back in there and putting on a good performance.
You mentioned you were straight back in the gym over in Belfast, back at your amateur gym, helping out with the kids and the sessions, things like that. What's that like, giving back to the community when you've been there yourself many years ago? Yeah,
listen, Holy Trinity Boxing Club gave me so much. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today. So I like to go back and give back and help out the younger generation and inspire them, and set an example for them, and kind of pass on the knowledge that I was given at their age. And yeah, it's good to go back and help out. I mean, listen, like I said, Holy Trinity's given me so much, so I feel like it's my duty to go back and help out the younger generation.
Do you feel that you could play some part in, potentially taking kids off the streets? A lot of, gang violence, street crime, etc. By you putting in that work with those kids and taking those sessions here and there, do you feel that you can help the next generation of boxers over in Belfast?
Yeah, without doubt. Listen, there's a lot of kids that are into drugs and drinking and stuff at the moment back home, and taking their own lives, suffering with mental health issues. And I always say that I want to impact. Impact people. When people say to me, when you look back on your career, what do you want to achieve? And I want to achieve a lot of things, but one of the things is that I want to leave my mark and impact people and help lives, and help people change their lives. And anything I can do to do that, I will. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I've suffered through mental health issues when I got stabbed, and in other situations in my life, and I know what it's like to be a young kid and going through that. Do you know what I mean? Certain stages of your life, and you're maybe. Obviously, I've never took drugs, but if you go through a stage where you're drinking a lot, or you're getting into mischief and not doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, so if I can go back and help out and inspire the other kids to kind of stay on a level path, then I'll do that.
You mentioned the mental health, and you've had your struggles. As I know, you were stabbed when you was an amateur. You sort of bounced back from that. You went straight back into the next tournament, won gold medal again at the next tournament when you was allowed back in the gym. But you say you've had your struggles. We've mentioned this a few times before in previous interviews, but just go back to that. And obviously, for a man as well, male guys do not speak about mental health and how it affects him. As a boxer, you're portrayed to be this big, tough guy. You're not meant to have feelings or emotions, etc. Tell me how mental health impacted you.
Yeah, listen, obviously it impacted me a lot. I hit rock bottom. I was in some dark places, but I found the beauty in suffering. There is genuinely some sort of beauty in suffering. Do you know what I mean? You realise a lot of things when you're at your lowest, and once you can kind of weather the storm and realise that you can achieve great things, or you can dig yourself out of that dark hole, then there is beauty in suffering, because you bring yourself to a new height, and you realise that you had to hit them lows to be the person that you are. So yeah, listen, mental health, my mental health issues, I learned a lot from the person that I was then. I changed a lot of things to get to who I am today. And I mean, everyone, I think, goes through mental health issues at some stage in their life, and men don't like to speak out, and I was that person. I never wanted to speak to anybody, but as soon as I went and got professional help, I knew that it was going to benefit me and better my life, and it was going to help me get through the struggles and the mental health issues that I was going through. So listen, I believe that everybody should speak to somebody if you are suffering, and whether it's a friend, family, go and seek professional help, because everybody's human, you know what I mean? And as a fighter myself, we're meant to be tough, hard men, and just as a man, you have that kind of ego and pride. You don't want to speak to anybody, but it's a load of crap, and that's coming from me, who prides herself with a big ego in terms of like, I don't need nobody, I can do this all on my own. Yeah, going and getting professional help, or going and speaking to someone, if it's a friend or anything, writing it down, it genuinely does help. I've been through it, I've done it, and look where I am today. I came through the other side of it.
I was mentioning yourself and your struggles. We've also seen well documented recently, or in recent times, Ryan Garcia, Amo Williams, they've had their struggles as well. Do you think, not just in boxing but in all sport or any profession, there could be more to be done for mental health and the well-being?
Yeah, I definitely think there can be more done, but I feel like if you're going through that, like I always said to myself, when I was going through mental health issues, there's only one person that can help me, and that's me. You've got to want to help yourself. You've got to take the right procedures to helping yourself. Do you know what I mean? There's no point in sitting. You will go through a stage of feeling sorry for yourself and why me and whatever else, but once that period's over, you've got to then flick the switch and help yourself, because if you don't, then you're going to go down a different road. And yeah, like there can be more done for people in sport itself from with mental health issues, I feel, and especially in boxing, because it's like in professional boxing, if you take a loss or take a couple losses, it's like your career's over, which I don't believe in. I don't think it should be. I don't think it's the way boxing should be, and it's like, what is life after boxing? Do you know what I mean? So there should be, and people then suffer from mental health issues, so there should be a lot done for athletes and sports that go through hard times.
And back to the boxing, back to the fight, we mentioned earlier, Grant Dennis, homecoming, Katie Taylor. Just how big is this for you?
Oh, this is massive. I said this before in an interview, that this could possibly, well, up to date, and until I headline my own shows, this will be the biggest show that I'll ever be on, until I then headline my own shows and fight for world titles. It's the magnitude of this fight. Katie Taylor fighting back home for the first time as a professional, undisputed versus undisputed, going for her second undisputed title. This is huge for Irish boxing. This is huge for the country. This for me will go down as probably one of the greatest nights in Irish sporting history.
And just finally, Caoimhin, your style has often been likened to Canelo Alvarez. He obviously fought this past weekend against John Ryder, beat John Ryder over on a points decision. What did you make of John Ryder's performance, first of all?
Showed a lot of heart, a lot of balls. Was catching Canelo a lot. I think it was unfortunate that his nose went in the third round, I believe it was, because it could have been a different fight. Obviously it was an uphill battle from there then, but that's boxing, you have to adjust. But yeah, listen, I think John Ryder gave a great, he showed great balls, and he can be happy with his performance in a way that he didn't get stopped by potentially the pound for pound best in the world at the moment, somebody that's fought the best Mayweathers, your Golovkins and whatnot. So yeah, I think John Ryder should be proud of himself.
Are we starting to see a decline in Canelo Alvarez, or is it just a case of his first fight back since surgery himself? You know, obviously he didn't have the best performance last time out. He obviously lost to Dimitri Bivol. Are we seeing a decline, or are we sort of jumping the gun a little bit there?
What age is he? 31, 32, 33 maybe? No, I don't think we're seeing a decline. I don't think. Listen, at elite level, he's been at elite level since he was 22, 23, fighting your Shane Mosleys and whoever at that young age. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. At elite level, you're not going to blow everybody out of the water. People hate social media, hate it. It's like you lose one round. He won 120 to one, whatever it was, 107 or whatever it was, on one of the cards. You lose a round, or you take a couple of shots. You've got to remember, he's naturally a middleweight. He's not a super middle. So I don't think there's a decline. I think he's testing himself. He's proven a lot. He's light middleweight, middle, super middle, light heavy. He's a full-weight world champion, undisputed at super middle. I don't think there's a decline. I think fights are just tough. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? You're in against somebody else who wants to win just as much as you, who's trained just as hard as you, and you're gonna get tough, rugged fights. Someone like a John Ryder who's tough, southpaw, likes to come forward, will fight in a phone booth if he had to. So I've seen on social media, oh, there's a decline, and he's not even John Ryder saying I don't think he's the Canelo of before. I don't believe it. I believe it's the exact same Canelo. Just opposition is hard. Do you know what I mean? It's elite. There's fine margins at elite level, and that's just that. As long as he wins, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how he performs. As long as you keep winning. If he was to go and get beat 2-3 times on the bounce, I would say yeah, fair enough. He's declining, but he got beat by Bevel, who's naturally 2 weights bigger than him, probably 3 weights coming down to light heavy, and he gave a great account for himself. Do you know what I mean? By far the smaller man. So yeah, I hate all that talk. It's their decline and whatnot. Social media and people are just so quick to judge fighters on their performances, but at the end of the day, as long as you win, that's all that matters.
Caoimhin Agyarko, thank you for your time. All the best of luck for a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks very much.